30 years in the making is a great phrase. There were playoff games with Dan Snyder. I can only think of one that I really felt genuine optimism about. It ended with the quarterback's leg snapped in half.
Yeah, and you mentioned it on your show. It is wild how Washington always seems to go up against either the Bucs or the Seahawks in the postseason.
All right, guys, it is.
And this is going to be a very difficult
Wednesday,
matchup there in Tampa.
January 8th. Happy 90th birthday to Elvis Aaron Presley. Out there still rocking somewhere on a remote island. 90 years young. The King is alive today. Most of the ice and snow melted off the trees now, but an inch or two firmly packed out on like grassy areas. Roads are mostly clean here. Real feels in the teens out there today, so hope everything's well with you guys. All right, sunny day, but it's going to get cloudy. Last night's feature presentation, this one picked by John, was The Intruder Within, 1981. This was a TV movie that came out. Someone looked this up. I hope this came out in the winter. This is set in the Arctic on an oil ship way out there, freezing temperatures. Really, the weather outside here really sets the mode for this January season of movie watching, must-watch film. Chad Everett is the star of this, of course, of Medical Center, the TV show, but also Airplane 2, the sequel, 1982, and other things. Very, very good actor. Jennifer Warren is the female lead. It looks like someone that would have been in other stuff, but she really wasn't. I think she was in like Ice Castles and didn't do a whole lot, but to me she always resembled Linda McCartney. So you have Chad Everett, Jennifer Warren, Joseph Bottoms, who's kind of like the weaker of the Bottoms brothers. Timothy Bottoms was the good one, Paper Chase, Roller Coaster, 1977, and played George W. Bush in a couple of different films. But Joseph Bottoms, not as good as his brother, but he's kind of the kind of a bad guy. He's kind of like a guy you can't trust in this. He's referred to as Schoolboy by one of the drillers. He's not liked by Chad Everett. Almost getting into a physical altercation with him. He's the scientist guy who's studying the little eggs that are hatching the weird creatures. This is an alien ripoff film. And then you have Rockne Tarkington. I've seen him in at least one other thing. I have to look that up and see. Rockne Tarkington, another good veteran actor. After those four, it really drops off as far as like quality of the actors. But I do like the rest of the supporting cast. I think the nurse is really cool. I think the old man, who doesn't last very long in this film, is pretty good. He reminds me, he looks like the guy from Doomsday Machine, 1972, but he's not the same guy. And then I like the young guy who's shy, who gets, I guess, possessed by the creature thing. I think he's pretty solid. So I do like the rest of the cast, even though there's not really any name actors. Joe Finnegan, longtime stuntman, it plays the creature himself. It's got that at the end. It's really like cheesy and great. I really love it. Has a lot of similarities. So this one was the one for all the marbles pick was between this one and Snow Beast 1977, which felt a little bit like a forced pick. So I'm glad John picked The Intruder Within. But it's kind of the same movie, just different, set in different places. It's really the same kind of played out plot, which I love, and it has a lot of. It's also similar to Bog. It's got a lot of Bog similarities. to it. It's got just the classic ending of
Downfield. I think that would be
it's not over
exciting way to break the game open. But if
thing,
one of
just
these
like
teams
that
turns
goes
the
as
ball
far
over,
back as like the
it's gonna
Blob,
be a lot
1958, the little
serious
shot at the end of
protection, very important. And then we've
the,
seen it. How many times have these guys dropped interceptions?
there's more eggs that are gonna hatch. So, I love it. No, this is when they made good like prime time TV movies, like quality. This is like better than a movie in the silver screen. So I really enjoy this one. I know there's some kind of weak parts to it, but it's just really enjoyable. I like the scene of Warren and Chad Everett talking, kind of some personal stuff out on the big ship, like having coffee. And I like the little cafeteria, I guess you could call it that, scenes, making the omelet, and then the scene where Rockney Tarkington is eating the steak and the mashed potatoes. And you see his plate, it looks really good. So I kind of like those scenes. I like most of the beginning of this. Some of the action part at the end, not my favorite part, but I really like this movie. I watch it every year around this time, and that was a good feature. All right, guys. So we're gonna see tonight's feature. We're gonna go with, again, it just kind of depends on how the skies are looking later this afternoon. We will see how it looks. So, all right, gonna do some Krogering, and Duck's gonna do some power walking. He said, doesn't matter what the temperatures are. Duck's gonna power on. Have a great day, guys. Elvis is alive.